Well, it says I'm live, and you bet I am. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Biz with Joy. Grow your business in style. Leaders leaving legacies. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And tonight, our topic is one that you don't want to miss: the definitive checklist for liberation. Covers so many territories, so much. My name is Joy Ruffen, and the work that I do is as a style and leadership consultant, a signature style specialist, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. My work is with women who are transitioning. Verbiage is verbiage, jargon is jargon. It goes on and on. The bottom line, it's women who are second act, second chapter, midlife, transitioning from one something to another and wanting to amp up their wow factor because it's there and they know it. So therefore, we work together to erase the being overwhelmed, the anxiety, the stress, the spending way too much money, not feeling as confident and assured as they want to. In other words, I'm working with women who are driven for their own success because they want to share that with others. So tonight, what are we going to be talking about? While I'm in the throngs of change here, I thought I'd bring this title to you. And by the way, welcome. It's always good to share time and space with you. I realize how active, involved, and immersed we all are in whatever it is that we're doing. If we're working online or in corporate, it really doesn't matter. It's all about finding the time to sit back and relax, and sometimes to tune into people that you might really enjoy and like, but don't and can't find the time for. So that's why the replays are here for you. And when you come, you are embraced. Absolutely, no question about it. So tonight I thought I'd talk about this, the definitive checklist for liberation and how we do deep conditioning. And of late, I've started off because of my love for quotes, hoping that you do as well. I'd like to also invite you to share out the video if you can, because that means a lot. And sharing is all about community and growing. And we'll be talking a little bit about that tonight. But let me say this: quotes are impactful and meaningful because they bring a whole different perspective to whatever it is that you're about. And they add rather than detract. And so for me to share with you quotes, which is my love, it's another aspect of my much love for you. So here's a quote that I found that fits tonight. And the quote is, "Every change is a form of liberation. My mother used to say, a change is always good, even if it's for the worse." Now, that might unnerve a few people because some people don't think maybe that change, sometimes when it's bad, can be good. This was a quote by someone that I've never heard of, but aren't there many quotes out here that none of us have heard of? Doesn't mean anything. The quote is profound. It says that it was written and delivered by Paula Rego, Rego. And it is a very wise quote. Why? Because change is not easy for any of us. And liberation is a part of change, even when it's not embraced initially by us for all the different varying factors. And they are numerous. So alongside this quote that I just shared with you, here's one of my favorite authors, writers. I loved him from the moment I met him. Not in person, reading his books as a very, very young girl. For those of you who know, and I've shared it before, I was, not as much anymore, won't make, can't make, don't make the time. That's the reality. I was a voracious reader, loved reading. Because of all of my learning disabilities, I could take that book and take my time and devour it and scribble out and write out and then go to the dictionary and explore words that I didn't know and didn't understand. I didn't know at the time where that was coming from, but I fell in love with James Baldwin. Baldwin, a beautiful writer who I like to say, and I ought not to say, but I'm not working on politically correct anymore. I always say escaped to live in Paris because he couldn't take all of the craziness that was happening in the States at the time. But that's a story for you to explore if you're not familiar with him. He was, is, will always be a brilliant writer. Whether you agree or not with everything is a whole different ball game. But yet, all of these people we ought to know more about, especially in different ethnic groups. But here's what he said. And when I read this many years ago, it didn't resonate the way it did for me of late, because I've seen this quote many, many times in different places as I explore different things. And this is what James Baldwin had to say, and it relates and connects to what we're talking about tonight. People can cry much easier than they can change. Oh, my. You get the nuances of what he's saying there? It's quite deep. But isn't it true that the simplicity of almost everything is so simple and so brief and to the point? And there's so much merit in that. Emotional. And for those of you who don't know, I speak all the time about emotional healing, emotional security, emotional intelligence, especially for us women. Because my assignment is to advocate, champion, and enable women to empower themselves. I have late, because of my research mindset outlook, I'm meeting and greeting a lot of brilliant, beautiful, absolutely beyond driven professional women, corporate or entrepreneurial. And I met this woman here recently, and she used this word, which is always meaningful and impactful for me. But the way that she used it and the way that she spoke about the women that she works with, I said, yes, that's how it ought to be. Women who are driven, women who are scaling and elevating themselves up because they know that they have a mission here. And I say that because this is a huge collective. You know that I say these things all the time. And most people are doing the best that they can. And everyone is in their different bracket, their different circle, their different group. And there's nothing wrong with this group if it's common, if it's ordinary, if it's day to day, if it's mediocrity ruling and average. That's the masses. That's not leadership. Those who are in leadership are not wanting to be there, been there, done that, wanting to escalate and be driven to rise higher, to soar like the eagles, and be among like-minded peers, colleagues, those who have a higher regard and respect for what they're about and what they're doing. Because the bottom line, it's all about freedom, our freedom. And that freedom comes with knowing what that soul's desire is as far as your purpose. We are not here if we are in leadership. Let me just say welcome once again if you're coming again for the replay. We're not here to be clones. And too many of us, women, females, ladies, this is not a dig. It's obvious when you begin to seek and look, or mirroring and following suit, whatever is thrown at us. We haven't been able to align with our individuality, our uniqueness, and the freedom that that soul urge is waiting for you to awaken, for me, for all of us. That means that pride that we take in ourselves, it becomes paramount. And we don't make excuses for not showing up as our best self. You've heard me say over and over and over, casual is in, it's not going anywhere. Where? Where's it going? Nowhere. Why? Because it's comfortable. But your assignment and mine, if you're in leadership, no matter what realm, what circle, what group, what community you're in, you are driven to be the history maker, to be the messenger, to be the guide, to be the way shower, to be the one who knows with certainty and conviction that you're here to guide others who might not have the awareness that you have in the business that you're about and who need your services because you bring to them value and benefits that are aligned with what they're about. That's freedom. That's your uniqueness and individuality that you're sharing with others so that they can be about discovering theirs. It's not a magic portion. It's innate within each and every one. I like the word, for this reason, clones, because we have so many of us who are emulating, we're copying, we're mirroring, we're running after what we see because we feel that it's us. Why do we do that? Because we haven't received and gone inside and probed inside deep enough to know who we are. This is one of the reasons for me and for you, if you are driven, professional in leadership and wanting more because you have more to share with others. This is why knowing and getting a better handle on your soul's desire, that purpose of why you're here and what you're to do, that's what we're calling out for. Your femininity, sexuality, and sensuality belongs to you and you only. And how you showcase it, we have been programmed, conditioned, marginalized in so many ways that many of us are just numb to what our true femininity is all about. I said this and I say this and I will continue to say it over and over and over because I want us, all of us, to receive this. We, as women, we are the divine portal. We are the bedrock of society. And let us never, ever deny men and dismiss them in any way, because that's not power. However, wherever, whenever it happened that we dropped the ball, we stepped away, we gave up. Today, my friends, it means nothing. Today is when you step back in to claim what's rightfully yours, mine, all of us who are in leadership and beginning to awaken to the innate God-given power that is within us. Doesn't mean that you're standing and putting yourself on a pedestal and you think that you're better than anybody else. You, me, all of us who know and are beginning to awaken, we know that we are the glue that holds it all together. Our language matters, how we use it. Anger serves no purpose. To be angry with, for me, the journey of self-exploration, exploring and getting to know and understand, it's been a journey. It's continuing. It's ongoing. I've had so many wise, gifted, brilliant, loving men and women support me on my journey to come to you because I had no clue. I did not know. And religion, whatever your faith, your belief, your higher source might be, great, all well and good. Let it be your foundation if that needs to be. But remain open to other options and other possibilities that might serve you in a way that maybe that is not, if something is missing. And when you know something is missing, when you become judgmental about others, that's your first sign that something is amiss. You can have big eyes, a big heart, and all the other things, but you can see maybe what's not right and what's not wrong, but you don't judge. You throw kisses, you say, God bless, and you move onward because they're just not ready. Ready means that you are open to receiving those who come to you with open arms, enveloping them in your unconditional love. And everybody's love is different. Not everybody's a huggy, kissy kind of person. I'm not. That doesn't mean that I don't love and care. Whatever and however that comes from, and the psychologists who want to analyze it, good, go. Not everybody, and not only because of the pandemic and everybody wearing the mask and staying 6 feet apart and all of that, that's all well and good. And in a way, I guess we did become somewhat clonish, but now is the time to open up and share your heart and your soul with people, because that's where the true purpose of what we're to do, that's where it resides. Let me just share this with you before I go further here, because I want you to really be thinking about liberation for you and the deep conditioning. Maybe you're already there. Maybe you don't have to go through it. And maybe even when you have gone through it, you'll find, like me, it's an ongoing process and it never ends. I'd like to invite you, if you are not a member of my group, this is my Facebook business page. You can take a screenshot or a snapshot, and you can go here and you can see what we're all about. And then here is the Facebook group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. That's my main group. I never made a group for Biz to Biz. That might be in the works. I'm not sure yet. But this group, you belong there. And we need your input, your wisdom, and your love. Go there. This is my Meet with Joy link. You can take a snapshot. It's everywhere. And I would love to meet with you and see how I can support you further. And let me just say this, though, before I go any further. I have a masterclass coming up here, March the 16th, which is next week, Thursday. And that is going to be all about how you, I knew I'd get it, how you show up, your presence. Don't, and not that you do, just because casual is in, there's nothing wrong with casual. I'm sitting here casual now. You might not think so, but it's still casual. It's a category of casual, but it's still casual. Don't let casual take you out of the ballpark. Don't let casual take you out of the game. And no matter how much of a fashionista you might be, come and join us here. This is everything. You can take a snapshot or a screenshot, and you can go and register. The nuggets, the tips, and the tools, and it's all free that you're going to gain will be mind-boggling for you. Why? Because my background is fashion, but my friends, may I share with you that it was only after I left and went back into the fashion industry that I realized how little most of us really understand about the key elements of dressing and styling ourselves. It's not just about wearing clothes. It's not just about buying everything that's trendy, fashionable, current, and new. It's so much more than that. And these are the tips I want to share with you. And I hope you'll go and join me there, because you're going to be amazed at the information. Because as one of my friends, she has this saying, which I love, things that mama didn't tell you, because mama didn't know. My mother's closet was packed. You could hardly get in and out of there. It was just packed, but she could never find anything to wear. And if that might be your, then you will want to join us, because you're going to find that you're going to hear a lot of things that maybe you know. And the first thing that I always say to people that I work with, the women that I work with, let us be honest with ourselves. Honesty means that you know the good, the bad, and the so-so about your body. You understand it, and you dress it accordingly. So if you're going to be joining any workshop where they're showing and teaching and telling you about style, be honest about what you need or what you feel or what you might think is missing, and tune into the elements and the keys that they leave you with. As a prime example, sharing with you a little bit about me, just a little bit. I used to have great arms. No more. The yo-yo up and down, up and down, up and down. So when I go out to speak and stand in front of a group of women, I don't wear, and I have seen this is why I'm showing you and giving you and sharing with you this example. Women who are wearing sleeveless, no matter what stage of life they're at, when the wings are going back and forth, it distracts from your message and the content that you want to deliver. And if you're hormonal and all these things are going through, we talk about all of this when we do our one-on-one. And I give you tips and tools and nuggets that will benefit you way beyond what most people will give you if you're just going for fashion. Nothing wrong with fashion. I love fashion, and I bet you do as well. But fashion is just wearing clothes. What's new, popular, and so on. You want more than that. And when I say here how to do the deep conditioning to get to the liberation of you, the freedom, the uniqueness, the individuality of you, well, it has to come with what? First off, the honor of yourself, the integrity, and the understanding of the truth about ourselves. And it's always the beginning of seed of anything, because there's nothing that's going to be long lasting and meaningful and impactful unless we add in that element of truth and the truth about our bodies. And these beautiful temples, this vessel, they change. They're constantly changing. And we can't do maybe what we did years ago. Because my work is predominant with women who are transitioning, whatever that means. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever the age might be. It's not always about numbers, though. It's about all those other beautiful things. When you're birthing babies, when I said that women are the bedrock of society and we are the divine portal, that's a fact. And until we recognize that with open arms and no disrespect for men have always been powerful, will always be powerful. But those who are in alignment with the reality of who they are, they will embrace you for your femininity, your sexuality, and your sensuality. And when it's done right, that's the alignment of the essence of the best of femininity. And that's what you're seeking. Sometimes not knowing it, because we want to be desired and desirable. And showing body parts or showcasing is not the way. And here are some words that will just let me go there. There is beauty, love, and integrity. That has to be or ought to be a part of everything that we're about in this quest for liberation. And let me add in two words here that a lot of women misconstrue, put on the back burner, poo-poo, for all the different reasons. And yet, our assignment, yours and mine, is to put them back up front, standing tall. And that's class, CLASS, yours, and style, yours and mine and everyone. Because that entails the beauty, the honor, the integrity of how you showcase you. And if you're not doing it in a way that highlights the best of you, then there is no class there. And what is class? I'll leave that for you to decipher. Because you ask men, and I don't mean class with your nose up in the air and your attitude. That's not class. That's an ego that's way out of whack. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the freedom and the individuality and the uniqueness of you, which allows you to be memorable, unforgettable, with an indelible impression that you're making. So the deep conditioning means you probe and you go deep. And by the way, I throw this out all the time. I hope you'll heed this. Most of my life has been in the exploration and the getting to know and the wanting to understand me, Joy. And in doing that, I have gone to almost every, because I had no clue. I didn't know. psychic, astrologer, tarot reader, Akashic intuitive readers, and human design, and it goes on and on, all the different cardiologists, all these different umbrellas that they all go under. But let me share this with you. Of all of them, and they're all good when you find the right one for you. But when I talk about liberation and the checklist for you, I want to leave you with this if you're not familiar. Because of all of them, they're all great. But the one that I take the most stock in here of late is human design. But again, you have to find, I have an earring that just wants to come off. You have to find the right one for you. Now, I have checked many and most of them out. And if you want a sage opinion, then I can give it to you. But look up human design. And then it's a free chart that you can get. Go to Jovian, Jovin, I think you spell it, charts, and you have to put in military time. You have to have your month, day, year of birth, the time you were born, the city, state, and the country. And then put that in, and then you'll get your chart. You'll begin to know whether you're a manifestor, manifesting generator, projector, and I think there are two others. Whatever they are, you'll find out. And then you can decide, let's have some fun. Have some fun with your discovery and your liberating you. And the deep conditioning to probe to get the core, that soul desire of you to surface. Have some fun in the process. Because don't have it be drudgery. Have it be something that lifts you up and makes you laugh even. Because when I first had mine, I was chuckling at some of the things that were so spot on, and some of them I was saying, I don't think so. But then after a while, as you begin to probing is good when it's in the right direction, can be good. And this is not the end all be all for anyone. Nothing is. Everything is a combination. I have a friend that I want to leave you with this. We will be sending out to most of you who are in Leading Ladies, Leading Legacies in the group. And if you're here now and you've not joined, then go and join the group, because we're going to be sending out, I don't quite know how we're going to do it, but we're inviting you to join another group that my partner and I are going to be involved with, that's going to be all about love, laugh, and learn, and more. And it's going to be uncensored, where you come in and share and chat and talk about any and everything that we as women, regardless to the generations, are dealing with now. Because now is the time for us to step up, sit at the head of the table, and be in command, manage whatever it is with authority, integrity, and love. Let's never leave out this unconditional love. And everybody shows it in a different way. Don't expect everybody to be the same. That's not going to happen. Now, I put up the link here. Let me see if I can find it again. This is a masterclass. Just go and check in, register, and join me there. You'll have no regrets. We deliver. And it'll be something that you will walk away with much that maybe you didn't know before. So it'll be worth your time. And my friends, let me leave you with this. Tomorrow night, join me for another leading lady who's going to share some really profound, insightful information with you. And I'll just leave it at that. And be sure to know with certainty that every time I come and join with you, I leave you with much, much love. From my heart to your heart, be well, stay safe, and take care of you first so that you can look after many, many others. Much love, my friends. All the best. See you soon, like tomorrow night. Cheers.